You might have noticed my last video was about watches. It was that diesel watch that I replaced the batteries in. And it didn't do very well as a video, but I don't mind because I make them for me pretty much. And I wanted to share something a little bit about watch journey. When I was young, we used to pour through the Argos catalogue looking at all of the cool Casio watches. And then all of a sudden, I don't know when, they just sort of disappeared. And you used to pick up a few watches as you go on through your life. And then you settle on your sports type bands if you do anything like running and fitness. And then you kind of stick to them because the batteries are good, they last forever and they do a functional job. Other than telling time, which your phone can do. So I saw this watch on the internet site. I'm just sort of grasping. Maybe I'll remember where I bought it from shortly. Oh, House of Fraser. Sorry, House of Fraser, or Fraser as it's called in the UK. And it was reduced from the £220 to £109. And if you go on House of Fraser's website, they got loads of watches reduced right now. And I thought it looked cool. Obviously comes in a box like they tend to. I mean, a lot of watches actually do tend to come in really expensive boxes, but honestly, I don't know who collects the boxes. I'm sure some people do. In fact, look at this notch here. Is that actually to display? Yeah, for displaying it. But anyway, it's just a watch at the end of the day. Let's not get too excited. There's a lot of YouTube sites about people buying watches and drooling over watches. Clearly, I'm not one of those. I just thought it would be neat. I do quite like the box. Do you keep your watches in the box? I mean, I think sometimes I keep the boxes for different size bands, but rarely, very rarely do I bother. Honestly, I don't know if it adds any kind of collectible value in a billion years' time when somebody's digging up my old Casio something. Anyway, this brand is Spinnaker. I don't really know much about them. They're probably Chinese, and they probably, if you're lucky, get the movements from Japan. I believe this is a Japanese movement. It escapes me now what it is. If you know what it is, you can comment down below. I think is it a something 35. It's the bottom end tier, I think, of the automatic movements that are made by Seiko. So it is a Seiko innards, which is cool. And I really wanted an automatic because my dad was a fan of automatics. He always had the automatics, and I always would be mesmerised by the second hand, which would sweep around. And you can see it's not doing much. Oh, it is sweeping. Oh, did that just start? Look at that. If we look back to the footage, I'm sure this thing wasn't moving around, but now it is. But look at it. It's mesmerising, sliding along. Yeah, we don't get to see the movement because it's not the more expensive one with the glass back. But let's just see what you do get. Automatic movement, all stainless steel, 150 meters, which is probably not that good really. Sapphire. And in the pictures, I have to admit the strap looked more brown, but it's definitely a light sort of nubuck, and I'm okay with that too. Not that bothered. Again, I'm happy enough at the price. 100 quid for a, I don't know if it's a micro brand really. I think it's probably just a little bit more than a micro brand now. Oh, there's still more. Look how much films there are on this thing. So you do get a date bobule. A locking crown. Look at that. So you have to unscrew it first before it will work, and then we just pop that out. Ooh, that's quite a nice movement there. And actually, you can see the little magnifying dollop is doing its job. I wonder if you could probably take that off. You know, I reckon I could get a chisel in there and chisel that off if I didn't want it. So that's the first click. Second, no, that's, oh, hang on. So that's just out. First click. There we go, the date is going round. And then second click does that. Now something I just discovered though, I bought this, but in reality, I actually wanted a watch that could give me 3 time zones, as you do. I have to operate across 3 time zones. And I got this because it looked cool and it was a cheap price. And then literally moments after seeing this, I was made aware that there is a style of watch called a GMT watch. Now look up GMT watches. They actually include an additional hand, and that hand moves around the whole scale in one 24-hour period, and that you would set to GMT. And what's cool about that, obviously living in the UK, that's brilliant. And what you would do is you'd pull out the clicker, and when you turn the knob to set the time, what it would do on a GMT watch is actually move the hour hand, not the GMT hand, the hour hand. So then you could just set your local time. And so you'd have your GMT time and then you'd have your local time. And then what you could do is actually adjust the rotating bezel onto the GMT hand there, you know, count it back like how many, clicks it is, you know. So if you want to go, I'll give you an example, and it's bad to do this because it's not really a 24-hour scale on this, it's minutes. But what you do, if you were like plus, say minus 3 hours, you'd click it 3 hours, yeah? And then whatever time that GMT hand is pointing at is the actual time in that other time zone, which is crazy. And there's a third thing, well, I guess a fourth thing you can do, which is even crazier, that if you line up, I believe, if you line up, it was some crazy thing. If you line up like the hour hand to the sun, the GMT hand points north. So you can even use it as a compass. There's a whole load of bonkers things. And annoyingly, yeah, they're kind of expensive. And I got this instead. Another interesting thing, though, about the GMT watches, which is really kind of fascinating, they come in two varieties. One is called a caller watch and one is a traveller watch. And it all goes around, down to what actually you set when you set that. So if you're a traveller, yeah, I think you pull the crown out twice and you set the GMT hand. Like that's the first thing you set and you never touch that again. So then when you pull out your crown on the first position and then you set your hours move, that's just your local hours, right? Because you're flying in your airplane, you're traveling and you're going like +5, -5.5, +9. You know, you're moving it like that. So you want your GMT to preserve the time. But if you're a caller, it's a notion the other way around. It's because like you are sitting at a desk somewhere and you're calling people in foreign countries. Apparently the way it works is like the other way around. So the priority, I think, is on moving the GMT needle around, which is weird, right, to me. I'm not really sure why you'd do that. And I guess you're keeping your current time in your local time, something like that. Anyway, that's an awful lot of rambling. Regarding this watch, yeah, I suppose I should just pop it on. This is watch talk. And it's quite a good length. That I could imagine it would work on somebody with quite a large wrist. I think I've got quite thin wrists here. Look, I can grab around your wrist. Go on, go try that right now. Can you grab a wristful? I could probably get like, you know, grabbed by a policeman or something round the wrist. And they'll be going, that's an easy wrist to grab round. And they'll say, do the old handcuffs up, extra nipped. And make sure he's not escaping. Something I'm wondering is, it feels, when I'm doing this, by the way, it sounds like I'm winding it. I'm going to keep going. Is it going to stop? Is it doing anything? Should I just not do this? I'm going to stop. I don't know if these have winders. I would think it would be quite a neat feature on an automatic to have a winder just in case you wanted to just make sure it had some. Anywho, I'm going to just wear this watch around, I suppose, and then see how I get on with it. It's interesting having an analog timepiece. But maybe I could achieve my multi-time feature by just wearing more than one watch. I did have a notion, by the way, last night when I was thinking about this problem. Maybe with a little bit of engineering, you could fit 2 watch hands, maybe 3, on the same strap. And that would give you your 3 time zones, although it would start to become quite unwieldy. You might as well wear that diesel watch I had with all the little hands on it. Anyway, that's probably all I've got for you. And if you want to talk more about watches, best probably served in the Discord, where I know there are a couple of mechanical watch fans. So that's me signing off on 6:39, where the sun is setting at 7:18. Oh no, that's sunrise, because it's already dark outside. See, I can't even use a digital watch. Thanks for watching. Bye!